Hey folks, this is Mark with OrientWatchUSA.com, and this is FFE06002D. Now this is part of Orient's diver collection, and even though it's not exactly a true diver, there's a very good reason why it was placed there. I do really love the weight of this watch. When I put it on my wrist, it really does stick out. As you can see from the side, it does have a beautiful side profile, especially on the wrist. So the first thing I would like to do is go ahead and take off the watch and show you some of the casing parts. You'll notice that the buckle does have the Orient logo on there, as well as the safety. If you raise the safety simply like this, just go ahead and press the two buttons on either side, and it releases the clasp. Refold it so you hear a click, and use the safety to secure the clasp. If you look at the back side, you can see the band a lot better. Now it is solid by construction, you can see right over there. But they decided to go with a matte finish and something that was completely untapered throughout the band. Now the profile of this case, now this is a 200-meter case, folks, as you can see. It's nice and thick, it's beautiful. The crown does have shoulders on them, as you can see right there. The case back used does have the Orient logo, as well as some of the product information stamped on it. Now the case back is screwed down by design. So what I like to do is to place the watch on a stand so that you can take a better look at the dial. I'm sure that's exactly what you want to look at. So what I do want to show you from the very beginning is that the minute, hour, and the hour indices are all luminous. Now the bezel is bidirectional, meaning it will turn both ways. But one thing that you'll notice from the difference between most diver watches is that usually you have elapsed time on the bezel. What they did here, they put a what's called directional things like north, south, east, and west on the outer side of the bezel, and they use a military hours for the inner bezel, as you can see from 1 through 24 over there. Now this will all be explained in a little second, but the 1 to 24, that is the hour hands of this GMT hour hand. Now, before I go into that and explain all these things, I want to show you also this beautiful dial. Take a look at this blue. Most of Orient's diver watches, the blue is usually typically the most favorite color with the customers, because they typically use a very non-matted, a very highly finished blue. Now this watch does have a more matte blue, so I do want to explain that for those people who are very familiar with our blue diver watches. So now I want to take it off the stand so I can show you how the GMT works, as well as the functionality of the movements, which is just date. All right, so let's take a look at this dial. Let me show you first how to use a GMT, which will mean that I would have to change the time. I unscrew the crown first to change time. Once I unscrew, and once I feel the release, go ahead and pull it out to the second step. Once you're there, you can adjust time. In the first step, what you'll notice that I can adjust dates like this. I'm gonna take it back to 1. So let's take an example, a very simple example. Let's say, for example, I'm not quite sure about this, but the time difference between Los Angeles and London. Let's just say, for example, it's 8 hours, because I'm not quite sure about it myself. Let's go ahead and if it's noon in Los Angeles, then it should be 8 p.m. based on the fact that we just came up with 8-hour difference. So it should be 20 hours military time. So I'm going to set it once. So now you can see 20 matches up with the GMT. Now watch as time progresses forward, and you see how the GMT hand also is affected by the time. And right now, 8 hours, if it's 8 hours difference ahead, that means it should be 5 a.m. And look right there, the GMT is pointing at 5. In military time, it's 5 a.m. After you're done with toggling the crown, always push it in slightly and then rotate until you feel that the screws have indeed caught. Okay, and stop when you're at the end. All right, folks, just before I go, I do want to explain to you that this is a mechanical watch. Now, what is a mechanical watch? I used to try to explain by words, but nothing better than to just show you one. Take a look. You see how that rotates. As I naturally move and wear the watch, you see how this how you say, the oscillating weight moves. That movement winds up a spring. A spring powers a timing device, just like this little thing over here called the balance wheel. All right? So this is the old-fashioned, traditional design, but when it comes to horology and the study of time measuring devices, this is what horology is really all about. All right, folks, so this is Mark with OrientWatchUSA.com with FFE06002D. Hope to see you wearing it soon.